Hey everybody, I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching the Sit Down. Hanging out today with Mary Holland. Brand new movie is Happiest season on Hulu. Mary, really nice to meet you. How are you?
Nice to meet you too. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. My wife and I loved your movie. It was
Oh,
uplifting. It
good.
was a feel-good movie, but it also hits on a lot of really important stuff. So, in a year that's been so crazy, what's it been like seeing the reaction to your film?
It has been so amazing to see the warm response and the film being received so positively with a lot of people, and to see people engaging with the story and caring about these characters, and it's just been so cool to see. I feel very grateful that we were able to get the movie out there and have it be so accessible to people on Hulu.
So, how did this all come together? I know you got an opportunity to do some writing here, and you filmed this thing a while ago. So, what's the backstory here?
Yeah, so Clea DuVall and I met working on Veep, and we never had any scenes with each other, but we would see each other at the cast table reads, and we just had this connection with each other. And she had the idea for Happiest season and asked me if I would write it with her. And so, and I said yes. And we started working on it. And then 3 years later, we were shooting it in Pittsburgh. It's so exciting.
That's really cool. So it's awesome when a relationship from a different show can benefit you here. And then it takes a really long
Totally.
time just to get something made. So what were some of the doubts that you had in those 3 years? Like, hey, we have this really good script here. We have this awesome movie, but is this thing actually going to get made?
I mean, absolutely. It is a miracle when anything gets made because there are so many steps and so many factors that go into a production actually physically happening. And it was really fascinating as an actor, because I've only ever been on the side of it when the movie is happening. The budget's been set, the locations are all set, everything's in place, and then the actors come in and perform. And so I've only experienced coming in at the tail end of that process. So it was so eye-opening and illuminating for me to understand more about what goes into the movie making process. And you know it does take so long because everybody who's invested in this story and this movie want to tell it the best way that they possibly can. And so it just, yeah, it takes a long time.
You mentioned filming in Pittsburgh. What are some of the favorite memories you have from that experience?
I love Pittsburgh so much. I really do. I had never been there before and just totally fell in love with it. We were all staying in this apartment building with each other, which was really fun. It had a very, like, I don't want to say a dorm feel to it, but it was like, oh, I could just run down the hall and like go, hang out with Mackenzie and Clea, and that was really exciting. So many amazing places. We lived right in the Strip District,
Mhm.
so lots of incredible food, and we did every escape room that Pittsburgh has to offer.
How many are we talking here?
You know what? I don't even know. I would say at least 10,
Wow.
maybe more. But you know what? Look, Clea and I, we love escape rooms. We've done, I would say, well over 150 at this point. But we're not nerds or anything. We're
No,
like,
you just have
we're
a nice
really
hobby.
cool people. Yeah, we just love puzzles, and uh yeah.
So, did the Pittsburgh Escape the Rooms live up to the hype? I mean, you've done so many at this point. Did Pittsburgh have some good offers here?
Yes, yes, Pittsburgh absolutely did. The escape rooms there were of very high quality. And living in Los Angeles, there are a lot of escape rooms here, and so I was very impressed with Pittsburgh's escape offerings.
I'm glad to hear it. Well, I was really impressed with all the different things that you hit here in the film, and I kind of want to talk through a few of them here. And
Yeah,
relationships are a big one here, and especially for the LGBTQ community. Like this was an awesome film to really dive deep and not only to humanize relationships, but to show depth in a relationship and the complications of it. So, what was it like
right.
putting that type of relationship on screen?
It was so important to me in the writing process that I fully support what Clea's vision with this story was, because this is inspired by her experiences. It's, you know, I was so honored that she brought me into this writing process with her. And I think it was so important to Clea, and then also to me, to um, have a story that was really honest and authentic and um, representative, but then at the same time had a warm, happy, bright ending.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And another really big part of the movie is, what you see is not always what's going on in real life. And you have this family where everything seemingly is perfect, but people are putting on different faces and people are really struggling with things behind the scenes. So what was it like just diving into that storyline and really just showing like, hey, everybody has stuff and that's okay?
Yeah, I think that was a really interesting dynamic to explore with these characters in this family, because it's not just Harper who's hiding her authentic self from her family. It's everybody in the family except for Jane, who is who is very much herself, and has such an open heart, and is so just unapologetic about who she is. But I think the rest of her family really struggles with that, and like not knowing how they're going to be received when they do share themselves with each other. And it's such a beautiful and rewarding thing to experience at the end. This all these characters have an arc and a fully fleshed out three-dimensional emotional journey that they're all going on. And I think, while it's all revolving around this main storyline between Abby and Harper, all the other characters are so affected by that story and inspired by Harper's courage in that moment to share themselves with each other.
Yeah, I mean, the irony here is that for Jane, she's the most authentic, but yet she's the one that's looked at as the weirdest of the family.
Right.
And I mean, that's the irony there. But for you, I mean, like you've done the sketch comedy thing and the improv thing, but like to play Jane here and have the freedom to play this crazy character, like what was the coolest part of that experience for you?
Oh man, it was a total joy. Yeah, I mean, Jane operates from this place of just um she's so excited to be in the world. And she is so passionate and so creative, and so getting to like play her, and it felt so organic and easy to step into that role, because she's just such a joyful character. And I think she really we had so much fun writing Jane, and then also in the performing of her, her against the backdrop of this very restrained, buttoned up family. She really sticks out. And it was making us laugh so much watching like Mary Steenburgen try to like control her. Yeah, we had so much fun with it.
That's really awesome to hear. Going back to writing this whole thing, it's one thing to write it out, but then to see a Mary Steenburgen, to see a Victor Garber, to see
Yes,
Dan Levy,
yes.
like that must have been amazing for you. So what are like the little stories that you're going to hold on to where you had something written, it actually was in reality performed by some of these people, and it became a whole
Ugh,
big thing?
I can't believe the people who signed on to make this movie with us. I'm just so it's such a stellar cast, and every single person. I feel like Clea, in the casting process as a director, was so mindful of bringing together not only like hyper talented people, but also incredibly warm and kind and positive people. Like we all just really fell in love with each other, and we would see each other like on the weekends. We would have dinners, we would play games. I mean, sometimes up until Clea called action, we would be playing games with each other. So those the memories I have of shooting this movie are so important and special to me, and it just there's also the sense, I feel like, as we were making it, that we were making something really important and really special, and we were all very excited to be a part of it. So yeah, it's so special to me.
Yeah, this feels like one of those movies that people will watch every holiday season. And listen, I think we
Yeah,
need a happy season 2. I mean, we got to figure out what happens with Jane's book career, and there's
we
some
got to
more
figure it
this
out.
film.
We do. And you know what? Look, maybe I'll work on an adaptation of Shadow Dreamers and the Second Sister, you know, as a 3-part trilogy. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
I like it. Well, Mary, I really appreciate the time. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much, and
Me
have a
too.
great
You
holiday season.
too. Thank you. Have a great holiday.